All right, back in the basement again today for more of a impressions video on something that's very new, and actually I don't think it's for sale yet, but it probably will be soon. This is a prototype version. These are the Bremy roller cups. I'm not sure if he's gonna have a specific name for them or not, but I've been using them the last couple of weeks. I wanted to just give you some feedback on them because I like them a lot. Now, you guys know me. I like my roller cups in general. I have the Irwins right here. I have the BFJs, which I recently reviewed from Bridge Built, and I've had Go Strong ones. I've made my own. I've had a lot of roller J cups, and although I like a lot of the ones I have, the Irwins being my current favorite, one of the things that I noted and I was looking for was one with a little bit of a lower profile, meaning that, yes, I want a roller J cup, but the reason I like them is so you can center the bar. It kind of mimics what you'll find in a combo rack. Most combo racks don't have 3-inch wide lips on them outside of maybe like the Rogue combo rack. Most other ones are pretty small in comparison. And one of the things I really like about standard sandwich J cups is that they're very thin profile. So when you're walking out a squat and that second step, which is typically like out or in, the bar is going to sway some. I have the tendency to clip these lips a little bit. So it's just unnecessary bulk. So I was really looking for someone who was going to make like a sandwich style profile, but integrating a roller within it. Because with the sandwich style, you get like protection all around. You get that thin profile, which is usually like 1 inch to 1.5 inches wide. Just makes things a little bit nice and neater. And there have been things that have been close, like the BFJs have kind of a similar style almost. But again, it's really wide here. This one has a flat portion, which I don't really care about. I just want the roller itself. So my friend Andy over at Bremy Products, or Bremy Strong, if you will, he was actually in the midst of developing some of these and shared them. I'm like, that's what I'm looking for. And when he came with the first prototypes, he asked if I'd test them out, which I've been using for the past couple of weeks. And I think these are probably my new favorites. Now, I just want to give you my impressions. This isn't a review because, like I said, they're not for sale yet. I've already given him some feedback on here and he's already made some slight changes. I'll talk about that in this video. But basically what you get is the profile of a sandwich style J cup, which means it's thinner. So thin, relatively speaking. It's a lot thinner than, a 3-inch cup. I'll give you the actual dimensions in the B-roll when I'll measure it. But you get that full protection around. You have the roller as well, which is a nice beefy roller. And you have this front lip protected, but also a little bit here on the bottom. So you get a lot of protection because if people are going to hit the cups, it's typically this front lip as you're pushing up a bench in most instances. Or if you're falling short of racking, you're going to be protected here. So realistically, there's not a spot here where you would hit the bar. Now, one thing I want to call out with these is it's something that I've seen some other people give feedback on that have seen these cups is, how come you don't have protection right here on the bottom? And I want to talk about that a little bit. So the main reason is probably because, number one, I don't think it's really necessary. Like if you're setting up correctly, your bar path shouldn't lead you all the way back here where you do get this little bit of protection up front. But also one of the things I like about this is the fact that when you secure it with a mag pin, like I have on here, this space underneath, which I'll show you in B-roll, is really open because there's mag pins out there from a lot of different manufacturers. They're all different lengths. On some of my other cups like the Irwins or even the BFJs, you're really kind of limited to what pins you can use with them, either based off of the size of the hole or based off of the depth of the cup where it's going to hit some of the other braces here. Because this is open, you could literally get away with like a 7-inch mag pin if you wanted. So I could use my oak clubs here, or maybe my Fringe Sport ones, or whatever ones you might want. I choose to use the Surplus Strength ones right here because they're customized with my logo, so who wouldn't want to do that? But I like that fact that it's a little bit open and it lets you use pretty much any actual pin that you would like. And again, given the bar path, you shouldn't really hit towards here, but you do have some protection up front. This is also going to limit the costs a little bit. So these, like I said, are not available yet. I think he's aiming for a price tag of around $320, which is on the expensive side, but I do think they're worth it. The Irwins shipped, I think, are going to be around $320 from Canada. That price might be going up some with some of the tariffs that are currently in place. But for literally like a one-man shop who's cranking these out one at a time, I think that's a good price, especially considering that these things are built super, super nice. Like if I had bought these from Sorinex or Rogue or one of the bigger manufacturers that you're familiar with, this is really a craftsman level piece. It's really, really nice considering that Andy's doing this basically all by himself. Now, the feedback that I did give him with these is, although I like them a lot, I like the design, exactly what I was looking for, I do think there's a little bit of room to clean them up a little bit. So the roller itself is pretty big. The lip itself extends kind of far. The height on the lip is fine. It's perfect in my opinion. When you put a bar here, that's about ideally where you want it. But I think that he could chop off like a half an inch or so. So in some of his latest revisions, so he made himself the second prototypes. I have the original prototypes here. He actually shortened this or cleaned this up just a little bit. So it's just a little bit shorter, but you're still able to fit some of those bigger bars in there. So like, for example, I have plenty of room to use an axle bar in here. And even in his revision, you can still fit specialty bars in there. So if you're using a safety squat bar or a squat bar, you don't have an issue where some other cups you might not have exactly the right space or might not be built for that necessarily. I will also say the actual plastic here that he's using has held up really well. It's going to vary depending on which cup you're using and whatnot. Like my Irwins have held up really well. My BFJ is pretty good. But like if you look at the rollers on my Hansu rack, like they're getting chewed up really, really fast. So I really like this. And because it's an open design, it doesn't catch any of that material. Like the Irwins, I have to come in here and clean the bottom out of just because all the debris that ends up piling up. This one, we're just following the floor, which is where the dirt belongs anyways. So I've liked these a lot. These have become my go-to squat cups. I see them staying that way for the foreseeable future again, because I like the low profile, which you guys will see, a little bit skinnier, a little bit cleaner. The roll and smooth is really nice. And I really like the fact that I can use any mag pin whatsoever. So let me know, what do you think about these? Would you buy them? I will link his site. Like I said, I don't think they're available yet, but I'm pretty sure he'll probably start taking orders. So if you're interested, make sure you hit him up on like Instagram or anything like that. And I'm sure he'll be able to help you out. And if you're interested in a cup like this from a small made in USA manufacturer, because I dig them and I think you will too. In the meantime, as always, thanks for watching and stay big.